Hi, my name is Elliette, and today I'm going to be introducing some books that I would recommend. So this first book that we have here is called Love You Forever and was published by Firefly Books in 1986. The story is about a mother who sings a lullaby to her son at every stage of his life. This is how the lullaby went. I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. No matter the circumstances, every night after he falls asleep, she sings this lullaby. This book addresses and shares the importance of love and its necessity for happiness and healthy relationships. This book also addresses life and death and the cycle of life. Going along with this, the book also addresses the importance of loving one another as long as one is physically able. As the story goes on, nearing the end, the mother is aged and frail and reaching her passing. The narrative of the story alters slightly and portrays and actively shows the positive effects of the unconditional love as the son now rocks his mother and sings the lullaby. I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my mommy you'll be. Concluding the story, we see the son singing the same lullaby his mother sang to him, to his newborn daughter. The next book that I have is called The Kissing Hand and was published by Simon & Schuster in 1993. Similar to Love You Forever, this book also focuses on the importance of love, more specifically between parent and child. The story starts with Chester Raccoon begging with his eyes full of tears for his mother to let him stay home with her rather than go to school. His mother tries to reassure him that everything will be alright, and everything he can find at home, he can also find there. While this is majoritively true, there is one thing at home that is not at school, and that is his mother. Chester's mother then shares a secret with him that's been passed down through the mothers in her family, and that secret is the kissing hand. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. She then leaned forward and kissed right in the middle of his palm. Mrs. Raccoon tells Chester to press the hand to his cheek to fill him with warm thoughts and feelings and to remind him that his mother loves him. As I stated earlier, similar to Love You Forever, this book portrays the importance of love, especially of that between parents and their children. The reason I chose these two books was because when I was younger, my grandma used to always read them to me, so they kind of have a special meaning to me. This last book that I picked is called ADHD is My Superpower, and it was published by Windmill Books this year. As somebody who has been diagnosed with ADHD since around kindergarten, I find this book to be very important, especially because of its intention of being targeted to kids. I've seen a few books for adults and more mature audiences that cover the topic and provide many facts, but I feel it to be important for somebody that lives with the disorder to actually share their personal experience. I also feel it to be important to educate younger children about the topic. I believe it to be good and important for people of all ages to be educated about people and things that affect them. Now, obviously, I'm not saying everyone should go and do a deep, in-depth research about every single thing that affects humans, but I do believe it to be good and important to know broad information on very common instances. And this book covers that broad and important information when it comes to ADHD. There are a lot more things that come with having ADHD, and everyone has different experiences, but this book is a good, broad, overall view of the topic. This book talks about the struggles, especially within children, with the intention of making them feel like they're not alone and they're understood. And the author of this book has ADHD herself, and she states in the book that it would have been nice if she had a book like this when she was younger, so that she didn't feel like her ADHD was holding her back or a bad thing, a negative thing to have. It also just educates other kids, and especially people who work with children about the topic and ways to deal with it and why they do certain things. So I would highly recommend reading this book along with the other books that I talked about.